Hi everyone! Today we'll be knitting this super soft and cozy hood together. I made it in an adult size, but it's also perfect for kids. In this tutorial, we'll knit each stitch step by step. Let me give you a quick overview first. To start, you'll need to cast on the required number of stitches on circular needles and knit a 2x2 ribbing for several rows. After that, we'll switch to stockinette stitch and continue knitting in the round. Next, we'll separate 1/5 of the stitches onto a holding thread and knit the rest in back and forth rows. To shape this section, we'll decrease stitches on both sides. Afterward, we'll sew the two parts together using a mattress stitch. To finish off the edges, we'll pick up stitches along the opening. Knit a few rounds of stockinette, fold the edge over, and bind off. You can make a drawstring using a crochet hook, which I'll show you later, or you can use a ribbon or something similar. To make it easier, I started threading the drawstring from here and finished it here. And voila, your hood is ready. I used merino sport yarn with 50 grams giving 80 meters. I needed 3 skeins for the adult size. I've already knitted a sample in stockinette stitch to calculate the gauge. I'm knitting the hood for a head circumference of 56 centimeters. According to my calculations, I have 18 stitches per 10 centimeters. To calculate the number of stitches needed, multiply 18 by 56 and divide by 10. That gives me 100.8 stitches. I round that down to 100, making sure the number is divisible by 4. Add one more stitch to join the round. I'm using circular needles that are 40 centimeters long. Make sure all the stitches are even and not twisted. We'll join the knitting in the round by moving the last stitch to the right needle and passing the first stitch over it. Pull the yarn tight and place a marker to mark the beginning of the round. Now, we start knitting the 2 OLR2 ribbing, knit 2, purl 2, and repeat this pattern until the end of the round. Begin the second round by slipping the marker and continuing to knit the stitches as they appear, 2 knit stitches followed by 2 purl stitches. We'll keep knitting the ribbing in the round. I've already knitted about 5 centimeters of ribbing. Now, let's start a new round. All stitches will be knit stitches. The second and all subsequent rounds will be the same. Knit every stitch as we build the height. I've knitted in stockinette stitch. The total length from the beginning is 14 centimeters. Now, let's take a needle and thread and move 1/5 of the stitches to it. In my case, that's 20 stitches. Once the stitches are on the thread, tie the ends together. We'll continue knitting the remaining stitches in back and forth rows. Start by knitting a purl row. Slip the first stitch and purl all the remaining stitches. Turn your work and knit the next row, slipping the first stitch and knitting the rest. The last stitch of every row should always be purled. Keep alternating between knit and purl rows. I've knitted about 33 centimeters. Now, it's time to shape the rounded part by decreasing stitches. I have 80 stitches on my needles. Divide these into 2 sections of 40 stitches each. Count 39 stitches, place a marker, knit 2 more stitches, place another marker, and knit the remaining 39 stitches. Slip the first stitch and knit all stitches up to the marker. Stop just before the marker and knit 2 stitches together with a left-leaning decrease. Slip the stitches onto the right needle, twist them, and knit them together. Slip the marker, knit 2 stitches, and knit 2 stitches together with a right-leaning decrease. Continue knitting to the end of the row and purl the last stitch. On the purl row, slip the first stitch and purl all the remaining stitches. For the second row, repeat the process until you reach the marker. Now, we'll knit 3 stitches together with a left-leaning decrease. Slip the marker, knit 2 stitches, and knit 3 stitches together with a right-leaning decrease. Continue as in the previous row. I've done 5 decreases in total. 1 with 2 stitches and the rest with 3 stitches each. Cut the yarn and take a needle. We'll sew the 2 parts together using a mattress stitch. Thread the needle from bottom to top through the first stitch then through the next stitch in the same way. This secures the yarn. Now, repeat the same motion but in reverse. Insert the needle from top to bottom, pull the stitch off the needle and move to the next stitch from bottom to top. Keep alternating top to bottom and bottom to top, just like this. This is what it should look like when you're done. Now, let's close the last 2 stitches and bind off. Next, we'll pick up the stitches from the thread back onto the needle. On the corner, pick up 2 extra stitches to avoid leaving a gap. 1 here and 1 here. Then, we need to pick up stitches along the edge of the previous row. Pick up the last 2 stitches and make a loop. Do the same on the other side. Place a marker to mark the start of the round and continue knitting in the round, working every stitch as a knit stitch. I've knitted about 4.5 centimeters in the round. Now it's time to fold the edge over. Follow the first row's line to see where it ends. We'll continue along this line. Pick up the next stitch onto the needle, knit 2 together and bind off. Repeat this process all the way around. I'm done with the front section. Now, let's move on to the side section. This part is easier. Just follow the line of stitches and pick up each one along the way. Finish the round and bind off. Cut the yarn. Now, let's make the drawstring using a crochet hook. It's best to use a hook of the same size as your needles, but I only have a 3mm one on hand. Leave a long tail of yarn as long as you want your drawstring to be. Make the first loop, then follow the same process to crochet the drawstring. This kind of drawstring is quick and easy to make. Use a safety pin to thread it through the hood and tie the ends if you like. And there you have it. Your cozy hood is ready.